everyone. So I was not expecting to come on today because I'm off. Today's my day off, but God had me agree to help an elderly woman um, clean her home. Eyes to see and ears to hear. It's not just about her home that's needing to be cleaned. And she is desperate for me to come. So I'm tired. Like the opposition of going to her place is so great. I'm tired. I don't want to go. I want to stay in bed. I want to rest. But I made a commitment to God. And I said, as long as you still want me to go see her, I am going to go help her. I am going to go do what you are asking me to do. So, with that said, He wants me to start first. This is something that I wrote down after watching Ariel Sparks' Tea Time with Jesus. And she said, write questions that you want God to answer. I don't remember writing these questions. I don't remember writing the answers to these questions. And this happened on April 23rd. So this would have been now 2 days ago. Today's the 25th. I don't know. Is today the 20th? No, today's the 24th. So this happened yesterday. And like I said, I don't remember writing this information. And no, I was not drinking because I wasn't drinking when I wrote this. I haven't been drinking for the last couple of days. Something changed and God has been allowing me not to drink. But it all goes together. It all goes together. So on the 23rd of April, I wrote down some questions that I have regarding some of the things that I need answers to, that I need understanding. So, and this is all in terms of my territory, my healing, it's just my sense of appointment, what it is, what the direction that He wants me to go. And so the questions I wrote won't make any sense to anyone else, but they'll make sense to me. I said, God, what is it? And I'm first going to give you the questions, and then I'm going to give you the answers to those questions. The second question is this a pivot? The third question is, what are you wanting me to learn? And the third question was, or the fourth question was, how do you want me to heal from this? And the fifth was, what is it you're trying to heal? Meaning, what is He trying to heal within me? And when I asked Him, what is it? God, what is it? And He said, domain. And I said, is this a pivot? And He said, yes, into grace. And then I asked, what are you wanting me to learn? And He said, self-love. And I said, how do you want me to heal from this? And He said, with leadership. And I'm like, leadership. That one, I understand, but I would have never thought that's how I'm going to heal from it. Using my ability to lead others. Because what He is trying to heal me from, because that was the next question, what is it you're trying to heal from within me? Your idea of belonging. I don't belong to the world. I don't belong to society. I don't belong to anyone except God. And then we are going to read a couple of verses because he has been giving me verses. One moment while I take a sip of my coffee. Okay. But I'm going to start in what he's giving me right now. So we're eventually going to go to Psalm 102, verse 13. And this is for women of God entering marriage. This is the reason why God had me listen to Ariel in that particular video. Also, he's brought another young lady to my view. A young lady who had a similar experience with her ex-husband, who also married a narcissist. And these individuals are not letting up. They're not giving up their want of control of us. And you see, this is a relationship to the death. When Lucifer brings this kind of relationship to a child of God, a narcissistic relationship, a relationship that is totalitarian in its ideology, it removes all individual choice, all individual thinking. It takes away your personality. It strips away your individualism. It removes anything that belongs to God. That's what being married to this man was like for me. He questioned everything. And because I already came from a narcissistic woman who raised me, who also questioned my belief in God, who also told me that the voices I heard were not God. It was Lucifer. It was demons trying to get me to do things for them. It was not the life of God within me. So these people try to change my faith and use it against me by setting up situations that made me feel crazy, made me feel vulnerable, made me feel fear, made me feel I couldn't trust myself, because I built my life around the fact that only I could trust me. The only person I could trust was me. I couldn't trust anyone else. I couldn't trust anything else, because nothing else was ever good to me. But I was good to me. I protected myself. I defended myself. I fought for myself. Instead of allowing God to continue to lead me, I started to cocoon into this individual that God didn't want me to be. And before they were able to finish the job, to really essentially kill me permanently, God removed me from them. And it was so beautiful the way that God reminded me why he had to send me out the way he did. And I'm going to talk about a video that I watched this morning. So Psalm 102 verse 13 says, "You will arise and have mercy on her, for her time has come." This is talking about Eve and how God is going to have mercy on her, because he's forgiven her sins, and she is going to step back into the place he had originally created her to be in, which is the helper of the man. Now this part I don't really understand, but I'm sure he'll bring clarity later on. We gave up everything and lost everything. We gave up from the root to something, Truder. It says Truder, but I don't, it means something else. And it's time for me to come out of my cocoon. And, so, I don't know if any of you, besides Tara and a few others who look at numbers, if you ever look at the dates and you add up the dates. So today, if you take the 24th and you add it, it makes the number 6. If you add it to the number 10, the number 4, it makes the number 10. Today is a full circle moment. Today is going to be all about recognizing the similarities, things that you've gone through, whether it's you're going to be thinking about the past and you're going to be thinking about where you were in this moment back then, or God is going to bring you individuals that are going to be similar to situations that you went through in the past. Whether it was a coworker that mistreated you, maybe you'll come across an individual that'll remind you of that coworker, but the treatment that that individual gives you is completely different. And it'll leave you like, that was a different interaction. Or it'll be the same, but it won't hurt you the way it did before, because you're not who you used to be. It could be God bringing you individuals back into your life that you once had a contact with. And when you come back into contact with them, it's not the same. You're not the same person. So the friendship or the association is different. It feels different, looks different, sounds different. But again, these are all full circle moments. Now, tell me why, on 2 different occasions, God has had me write last year's date. This happened to me on April 17th. Instead of writing 24, I wrote 23. And today, I'm going to show you if you can see it. I wrote 4/24/23. So God is telling me that I have a full circle moment that happened on this date last year. I'm sure He'll remind me of what it was. Anyway, so chapter 7, Luke chapter 7, specifically verse 11 is the one we're going to. And this is the day that Jesus walks into a city and He raises a dead man. And it was his mother and the people carrying him were crying. They were weeping because the man was gone. And God told her, Jesus told her, because He felt compassion for her. He felt her pain. She was so devastated by his death, his loss as a son, as a person. And God felt that loss, that the world had lost a good child. And so Jesus told her, don't cry. And that's in verse 13. And He came up to the body, and He told the young man, I say to you, arise. And this was, yes, no, yesterday when I, yes, yesterday when I got home from work. I got home around, no, it was the night before, so it would have been the 22nd. God had me watch Sunray, and Sunray has said to anoint your house, so I knew God was telling me to anoint my place. I haven't anointed it since I arrived, because God hadn't led me to. I do as God leads me to do. I don't do according to what man thinks or anything else. If God does not lead me to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take action before God gives me direction. And so on the 22nd, I went through, for before touching anything else, I never put my dirty hands into a clean oil. I always pray over the oil, and then I first wash my hands. So I went to the bathroom, I washed my hands. I poured the oil into the cap. I never pour it into my hands from the bottle. I always pour it into the cap. Then I take the cap and I pour it on my fingers. And then I use my fingers to move it around. And I anointed myself first. And then I anointed my pup. And then I anointed the house or the room, whatever you want to call it. I call it a house because it has a roof and it has doors. And and this is my place of living. So for the moment, this is my house. So I anointed my entire house. I anointed the kitchen, I anointed the front door, the windows, the bathroom. Starting yesterday morning when I got, or no, starting yesterday evening when I got home. It was around 10 o'clock when I got home, 10 o'clock at night. I walked in my home, and all of a sudden, there are these huge, nasty flies. The doors are not open. There is nothing in this house there is no way that these flies could have gotten in. The windows don't open, not the back ones, not the ones in the kitchen. The one in the front does open, but I never opened it. When I left in the morning, there were no flies. There was nothing here that I could say, oh, that's why there's flies. I came in at night. Flies don't fly around at night, typically. There was nothing by my door. I couldn't say, oh, they walked in with me. So God led me to buy a fly swatter. Look at how big that hand is. Isn't it funny? It's a hand. This is the size of my hand. A big hand. Okay? The anger that bubbled up when I saw these flies, because I know what these flies signify. I know what they mean. These were the flies that were being manifested around me when I was heavy under witchcraft. I mean, I didn't realize that the flies had any association with witchcraft until God made me put the two together. Because as I started to remove the things that didn't belong to Him, that were cursed, that had links into other people, as I started to remove all that, as I started to purge all that, the flies began to move, to disappear. Like all of a sudden there were no flies. And I was like, what the heck? Now all of a sudden I come home and there's 8 flies. Literally 8 of these maggot creating flies. I don't have trash. Like I take out my trash can every other day. Mostly because I don't like the smell of the trash can. And so, most of it is mostly pee-pee pads from my dog. So every other day I'm taking it out and I'm taking it to the trash can. There is nothing in my home that I could say, oh, it's because of trash, or oh, it's because of this, or oh, it's because of that. On Monday, God, when I arrived home, I was tired. And he goes, okay, sit down, have a rest. I was like, okay. And then he said, I walked into the kitchen and he goes, grab the spatula real quick. And I was like, okay. And he told me to move the puppy pads that I have in the kitchen. And so it's not dirt and it's not, I know it's going to sound gross, but it's the skin that is falling that my dog is scratching off of him. This is witchcraft. How my dog looks is the way they wanted me to look. Okay? They wanted my hair to fall out. They wanted me to be fat and gross and disgusting. They wanted me to be sickly. This is why I can't get rid of this cold. This is all full circle. Remember, I got divorced. God granted me my divorce on March 12th of 2017. My divorce wasn't finalized by the court system until May 30th of 2017, that same year. It was unheard of. No one I've talked to has said, that's a long divorce. They're like, holy cow, what, were you on the freaking speedway to divorce? And I said, when God wants you divorced, God gets you divorced. My GM, Will, his divorce took 3 years. Every person I've talked to, their divorce is taking a long time to happen. A long time to happen. My divorce took literally months. I didn't take a year. I didn't take 2 years. It was fast-tracked to get divorced because God granted me my divorce in March. But I spent 23 years doing God's work, and he said, stay the course. Okay, I'll stay the course. I will stay here. I won't leave. I'll keep trying. I'll keep forgiving. I'll keep giving the other cheek. I'll keep giving the other cheek. I'll keep giving the other cheek. I was running out of cheeks. My face was so red from the slaps that I was getting, not physically, but spiritually. I was dying spiritually. My soul couldn't do it anymore. My soul was like, I can't keep taking this. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep moving forward in this. This isn't okay anymore. This isn't okay anymore. This isn't okay anymore. And I would tell God, please take me out of this world. I'd rather not live through this. I cannot live through this. I don't have the strength to keep going forward. I said, I've spent 40 years of my life going through this. I've spent 40 years of my life submitting to these people. I can't do this anymore. I can't. And so, God pulled me out. But it wasn't until he said it was time. It wasn't until, and he would put things, and I realize now that when my ex-husband was being nice to me, It's because God put something in him and told him, treat my daughter right. Be good to her. And in fear, he would retract and, oh, hi, oh, you're so beautiful today. Oh my God, I love you so much. But it was faker than dirt. And I knew it. And I told him, I said, you don't change. You just modify your behavior. And then you go right back in 2 months, in 3 months, in 3 days, in 4 days. You're going to go right back to the way you were. And I'm going to go back to feeling the way I'm feeling. And he kept saying, it's all in your head. You're the one that's creating this. I don't understand why you have to be so negative all the time. So it's my fault. It's my fault you can't find peace within yourself. It's my fault that you feel guilty for going out and sleeping around on me. It's my fault that you feel that you're neglecting me. It's my fault that I don't show you anger, that I don't show you ugliness. So you know what I started doing? I started going out to the backyard. And I would spend hours out there talking to God. He would tell me, why are you always outside? And I said, because I'd rather be outside than inside. I can't be peaceful here. Outside I feel peaceful. And you know what they would do? They would come outside and they would bring their noise and their filth to me. And then out of desperation, I would tell them to shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. And they would go, oh my God, you're always so mean to us. You don't. I'm like, I am not. I leave the room because you guys are chaos. I leave to be in the quiet. I leave to be in the peace. And instead of leaving me alone, you guys come to me and you bring your chaos and you bring your noise to me. Why can't you just leave me alone? You say that I'm causing you not to live a good life. Well then, leave me alone. Go live your lives. Go do whatever you want to do. Leave me out of it. I don't want to be a part of whatever you're doing. I don't belong to what you're doing. Whatever dirtiness, filthiness you're getting involved in, I can't be a part of it. And they couldn't understand. They couldn't see. They couldn't hear. Because they were in the world. And all they could see was their flesh. All they could see was through their carnal eyes. When it was my spirit who was dying. My spirit who needed God to come in and clean my life. So I last night killed every single fly. There was no flies left. God goes, okay, now you can go to bed. I'm like, okay. I had such a peaceful rest. A rest that I haven't had in a little while. Since the witchcraft that was being done by Mariah and her friends. Because now I know the pain that I was feeling in my legs, the hurt that I was feeling in my bones. That was the witchcraft they were doing. And there came a time where God said that grace for Mariah had ended. And a few short months later, Mariah had passed away in a horrific accident. God has been showing me that my ex-husband is about to meet a similar fate. Because he won't leave me alone. In the spirit, he won't leave me alone. He continues to do his witchcraft. He continues to try and open that door. But what God closes, no man can open. And he's confirmed it through this new young lady that I'm listening to. And I literally just subscribed to her, so I don't know her name. But She speaks through her videos. She's also a member of Jeremiah, another prophet that I listen to, and prophet, what's her name? It's another lady that I listen to. So she's a member of their channels. And my dog has been acting weird lately. Since yesterday. I've noticed that he tries, because normally he can go anywhere in the room and nothing's wrong. But he'll try to go over towards the bathroom, and literally he has to run back to his bed. And I've noticed that twice now. I'm like, okay, so he's being affected by whatever they're doing. Okay. He is my confirmation that they're up to their same tricks again. This morning when I woke up, I was in the restroom. I was going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden I hear a buzzing, and I look up. I was by myself. There were no flies. Okay? No flies. I know, because when I walk into the bathroom, that's the first thing I look for. Is there any flies? There was none. Zero. This fly manifested mid-hallway, in the middle of the air. And I was looking down, and all of a sudden I heard a bzzz. I'm like, what the heck is... And I literally look up, and there it is. And it's a big fly, like freaking the nasty flies that carry maggots. And I asked God, I said, where did that come from? And he said, they're trying to manifest back into your life. They are trying to open a door. And he said, that's why I had you fly my hand. This is God's hand. And he said, I'm squashing their attempts to open those doors. I said those doors are to be closed. You have not opened those doors for them. I have allowed you to speak to them for a moment, to show them you're still alive and well, because they were celebrating. They were celebrating thinking I was dead. They were celebrating thinking that I was no longer a living person, a breathing person. And God saw it fit to show them otherwise, because he's going to show them that they're idols, that they're witchcraft. When he decides that it is no longer effective, when he steps in, it's no longer